Hey guys, Tales of Turam here. We're back with another session of the Tale of Steel and Flame, I think I called it. And we did a session earlier today with Theolyn and V, but today, right now, we're continuing the story with Domino here. So, Theolyn, Domino, if you'd like to say hi, go ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back again, Theolyn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a few hours, so yeah. Uh, we'll be starting probably with Domino's stuff. So once he gets his character started, we'll go with that. But let me just do a refresher. Last time in the actual episode, not like the Thielen side sessions, basically. The party of two, Domino, or should I say, Ryan. I had to think of your name for some reason. Ryan Farrow had encountered a shade of Cerelius Ilaria, the sorcerer of the Seven Stones, or what he thought was him, after returning to his citadel, after retiring from adventuring for a bit. Or maybe forever, who knows. After this encounter, he was left stranded in the middle of the desert, beaten and broken, and he was rescued by a strange man from another time, it seems, named Theolyn, who then became his squire or knight in training, apprentice, whatever you want to call him. The two of them traveled to the capital and then back to the citadel once more. Well, to Sunrise Village first. Met with Jack the Emerald, who seemed to be working for Sir Pochi Anderson, who had taken over Sunrise Village. The two of them traveled back to the citadel, where they began to build themselves up better. They began to have moral conundrums and to give themselves fully to causes or to understand the causes that they wished to join. Wherein the citadel was attacked. Ryan beat the shit out of some dark version of himself. And they talked about the possibility of giving up and not giving up. And Ryan decided to continue to fight for now until he can't any longer. Having received words from friends saying that they were still here if he needs them, realizing he's not alone. Theolyn uncursed a sword and went on a little adventure with a billy goat. And we return to noon of the next day. I will let Domino. I did a little bit of role play with Ryan here just to get you guys on the road to the Embered Village. But if you want to do some sort of role play, we could say that's what actually happened instead. Would you want to do that or no?
No, that's fine.
Okay. So Domino, as Ryan
Yep.
awakens in his bedchambers, sleeping in a little bit longer than he should, from the tiring experiences of the previous day. Exhaustion and fatigue are a common thing for you on haughty days like this, but you feel spry. You feel invigorated as you get your armor fastened. Well, I'll continue with this after you tell me what you're doing after you wake up. I'll give you some time to tell me what you're doing.
All right. Well, shit. Sorry, I spaced on something. Where exactly is he right now?
You are in your room in the Citadel.
All right. Well,
Your darkened chambers that are meant for sleep.
as he pulls himself out of bed, he's going to make his way over to his personal apartments, or at least the other extensions of such, and begin to groom himself for the morning, making a certain haste as he does so before donning his armor and making preparations for the coming journey.
Alright, so question for you. Does he shave or does he leave facial hair?
He shaves.
Alright. So as you finish your shave and you begin to fasten on your armor, it fits better. It fits well. as you look down towards your arms, your reflection hitting of your the reflection bouncing off from the little bits of light that pass through the curtain blinds, through your armor, that reflect your face as you put your helmet on and fasten the last bits. This seems right. You seem on the right path. Your zeal, your oath, your fulfillment. You feel a sense of pride in your work, in what you're doing. As you stand and brush yourself off for a second, these thoughts pass through your mind as you approach the door and open into the halls of your citadel. The low-lit interior... Oh, sorry, go ahead, I interrupted you there.
No, I wasn't saying anything.
You let out a sigh, so I was like, oh, he's gonna go on a monologue here, let's go. The low-lit interior chambers are cooled after yesterday. You didn't realize it heading back to your chambers because of everything that had happened, but now that you're realizing it, now that you're realizing how cold it is here, you're realizing last night that burst of fire that you sent out heated the citadel to the point of nearly turning the dark metal here bright orange. You hadn't noticed it, the interiors, but you place your hand on the wall and you feel a chill pass through it. You may need some structural integrity redone to the iron of this place, because it's not really good to severely heat up iron and then cool it down. I don't know. Is it iron or steel that you made your citadel out of? I forget.
Messing with steel's temperature, I know, alters like the temper and such, but I'm not a metallurgist, so...
Yeah, it's not good to have it flash heat and then cooled down too much. So I'll say you may need to get some structural work done. You'll have the maids called the fucking smiths. Anyways, so as you step into the hallway, what are you doing?
Well,
I'll say to you know it's about 10 o'clock, nearing 11. So you have about an hour or two before you were planning on setting off.
Oh shit. Hey.
Yeah?
Just occurred to me. I glanced over at my inventory. Sypha sent me a scroll that just conjures her.
Yes, it has the gate spell on it, and it can conjure her one time. And I believe last session you said you didn't want to do that because you wanted it in case you specifically really needed her. But if you want to do it, sure.
Well, no. More so the thought being I probably established some manner of clear communication with her. If she knows about Cerelius Ilaria, that's really all he needs.
Okay. Yeah, you had sent a letter before you, and you then went to the capital before Cerelius thrust you into the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, okay. Reevaluating some things, having had his momentary doubts squelched. Maybe he doesn't need to quite go to the capital.
That's fine.
There's plenty of favors for him to cash in, many things to do, and at the end of the day, this isn't super necessary.
Well, to avoid dropping a time monster here, we'll say that your character would still need to head to the Ambered Fields, probably to speak with Merlin and the rest of them there, to let them know where you're headed to.
Of course.
All right.
He's still going somewhere.
All right. So, what are your plans as you step through these halls, talking to a few maids and individuals, sending them on their way to send messages across and missives through the Citadel?
Let's see here. So, the excursion with the lizard folk, right?
The excursion with the lizard folk, the ones on Kutola, yes?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. What about
So here's my grand plan of action. We're gonna start there.
Okay.
See how many I can potentially recruit into the order.
Oh, this is actually interesting. There's something interesting going on with Kutola too. Continue though.
So,
Continue.
See how many lizard men I can sway over to my side by saving their asses from whatever the fuck Bemin said. I earnestly cannot recall. It's been a while.
I'll say your character remembers this because Bemin was actually a pretty close friend to you out of the entire group, even though he was a lizard folk. Bemin mentioned that his group, his tribe, had contacted him and stated that uh, a small detachment of the Horacles' legion had appeared on the island, though it wasn't really undead. It was run by a lesser lich under Horacles' control and a bunch of hired hands, and they have enslaved his people.
All right. Well, let's hit two birds here then. Send a message to the lich, the big one in the hand chair. Get some more fellows, some new comrades, and take them to help Advar with his whole situation. Sending a proper message to the king. Okay.
So your character is planning to just have a chat with Horacles and then go help Advar? Really? Is that
Well,
the actual plan?
Well, when I say send a message to the big lich, I more so mean kill all of his men on the island.
Okay. I thought you meant like just send a message spell like, "Hey, what's going on?" Oh, it's nothing, just severing the hands of all the infidels.
No, maybe not.
You just see like Horacles on the other side, like on the bed, kicking his legs back as he's talking on the corded phone.
Oh my god.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead, continue.
Alright, well, the best laid plans. Gather my things, any supplies I might need, and head on down to Emberfield.
So I will say this: talking to the Smiths, because one of them would have come to you, they would have informed you that Castletown Liute is having problems at this point, because one of their suppliers, the suppliers that like are for the Citadel, they go to Castletown Liute, was having problems with the suppliers at Liute with the adamantine that they were supposed to send here, saying that they weren't sending the amount they needed here, and eventually causing a ruckus, and that individual lost contact with the Citadel. So you get the feeling Adamantine's going to come by a little bit rarely, but they are nearly finished with the set of King's Iron that you were requesting for Advar.
All right. Well,
they would need an extra day, which means you have enough time to go to Embered Fields, come back, grab that, and go to Advar if you wanted to.
All right. I think. Yeah, I'll leave them to take as much time as they need. I'm gonna go deal with. You just fucking said it. Starts with a K, I think.
Kutola?
The island.
Kutola?
Kutola.
It's
Kutola.
like Cut and then Ola.
Right, yeah. I'd been thinking of something with a similar name from another series.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember what series or what it's actually called for some reason. Anyways.
For me, at least, I was thinking of Katalis from the Dragon Prince, but...
Oh, I wasn't. I was thinking of, like, I don't know. I think I was thinking of the Cthulhu mythos, but continue.
Anyways, yes. Down to Emberfield.
Alright, so as you step out, asking around, not really seeing Theolyn, eventually you're told he took a small journey a few hours ago south because he was talking about something in the Dunek region, a tower of iron, that he wanted to go see. Something about some Knight of Flame or something that was establishing a settlement that he was talking about. Something about a dream from the Golden Serpent and the King. And he left a few hours ago. As you stand on the bridge of your citadel waiting, you start to grow a little impatient. But eventually, as noon is about to hit, you see, riding atop a gigantic, buff, billy goat-looking creature, like 10-foot tall, large curved horns, yellow eyes, moving jaw as it and just leaps with its bulging muscles across the bridge, is Theolyn, carrying an interesting looking sword on his back.
I take it your venture was fruitful.
The place I envisioned was much further than I originally anticipated, and I quickly realized that as I got to the mountain range, so I double backed quickly. So I didn't really accomplish much with that, but this is Bartholomew. As I just looked for the goat, yeah.
It gives you like a what's up nod with its head.
Yeah. He
Is
my
there
student.
any chance Bartholomew could fly?
No, I doubt my Billy Goat could fly, though. Out of game, I used this with the Fine Steed spell before you banned it, so I don't
Yeah,
know
it's
if
fine.
I'm still allowed to keep that.
You're,
Okay.
you're allowed to keep it,
Uh,
yeah. At this point, the Billy Goat does disappear, I'll say. And,
Yeah.
yeah. You know, Ryan, you know it'll take like an hour or so to get a carriage ready, and it'd probably be faster to summon your griffin.
Well, as it happens, the first step in our larger adventure is about to begin. I had been asked by a close friend of mine, Bemin, the lizard folk you may have seen about the keep.
mhm.
His peoples are being enslaved by the Western Lich. If I
I know.
can.
Sorry, I know who this is, right?
You've met Bemin once, and the Western Lich is a very prominent figure in the world. It's Horacles the Lich. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, go on, Domino. I'm sorry.
If I might liberate his people, I may be able to persuade a few of them to join me in aiding Advar's.
Fucking hold on, wait. What was it? Was Silver Tom? No, maybe. What the hell's Advar's last name?
Silverton. Like
Tim. Damn.
Like a ton.
No, okay. Phonetically similar to Tom.
Yes, I'll give
I
you
wasn't. I wasn't too far off.
Yeah, and you know the Silvertons, a very prominent family in Dust Valley. Noble people, they kind of train the Empire's, like, top brass soldiers. You kind of pieced together shit when he started saying, hey, my brother's a noble in fucking Dust Valley. I don't go there much, though. You know, I'm an adventurer. And you kind of immediately pieced it together. And I think he told you after that.
Advar Silverton is soon to take arms against his brother and claim the right of Lord Silverton. He has asked that I join him in doing so. I hope to supplement my forces with any of these lizard fellows.
Okay. Let's go then. Do we have any business before going to there?
While you were gone, I did, at the very least, arrange for, well, the management of the keep and the town below. However, there is one matter.
Okay.
As I said that, I kind of blanked on it. Hold on.
No, well, you have to go speak at Embered Fields to the people still, Domino. You've just sent people to, like, fix up the keep and everything at the moment. And you can see from this point, like, you're looking over his shoulder, Theolyn, but you can see, like, the side that was bursted out is just, like, being repaired with wood for now, just putting it over until they can get metal up there. Which is funny, because wood is a much rarer material in this land.
You think we'd use like sandstone or something,
Yeah,
but
no. I'm not changing it now.
oh my god. Break out the mahogany. We've got our holes a patch.
Anyways.
But yes, I must speak with. I believe Merlin is still down in Emberfield, yes. Oh, yes, I recall. I would like Bemin to join us on this excursion. It is rather personal to him, and
You pull out
he
your
has
bag
not.
folding.
He hasn't been terribly busy. Oh, I left him in there again, didn't I?
I forgot you had that bag of holding that stores people.
I
He
had
doesn't store
earnestly.
people, he has a fucking oxygen thing in there.
Oh my god.
I thought I'd let you out. Well,
You look in
We're-
and Bemin is not in there now. I was just making a fucking joke, but yeah.
Oh well.
I'll say you sent for Bemin as you were walking here. Bemin approaches. Yes, I can't do a Bemin voice, so this is the best you get.
we're off to Natala. Bag.
Natala? What is Natala?
You know what I mean, bag.
As your court mage, I feel it is ill-advised if I do not tell you. Putting people in a bag of holding is not... And you just shove them in there. Yeah.
How much oxygen do you have in there?
There is a plentifully recurring supply.
Okay.
Well, with that settled, would you prefer the bag, or would you rather share the saddle?
I'd rather share the saddle, thank you.
Right, well,
He, like, holds the bag forward and there's just menacing coming off of it.
God. Well, on Griffin back to Emberfield.
Man, I played you so much more, like, casual when we were doing this roleplay earlier, Domino. I'm not gonna lie to you. He made, like, a joke about a field trip and then he just flew off. Anyways.
Oh, good heaven.
So, as you guys begin to fly towards the Ember Fields in the back of your fiery griffin, eventually a sandstorm passes and you continue to fly. A bolt of lightning strikes the griffin, but nothing happens because you guys are constituted as fuck and you have multiple auras stacking. You look down, Domino, and you see, like, this young blue dragon that dared attack you, but it's nothing more than a wormling to you, so you just let it slide for now. But you do make note of it, and may have to come back later to put it in its place.
I'm gonna wag my finger at it as I fly by.
Alright. Eventually, you land in the Embered Fields, and what's your passive perception, Domino?
Ooh, let's see here. There we are, 18.
18. Yeah, it's fine. I'm just fucking with you. I don't need to roll.
Exactly what someone who just passed the fucking check would say.
Oh no.
No, but you do notice, like, strange spots, like, almost like when you're looking at a field and you see, like, little bushels of, like, flowers everywhere. You see, like, small dots, like, in different places around the village itself. And as you're looking down, you recognize a pattern. You recognize, like, a floral pattern, similar to the one that was made in the sky last night that seems to surround the town as you begin to descend and land.
Well, alright. As,
And I will re-describe the town because I think I fucked up when I described it because I forgot you were in this district of Durath specifically. So, the town I had originally just be straight desert. That's my bad, that's not how it's supposed to be. The town is within a large, miles-wide desert that is like a dune desert that is within a valley surrounded by large gorges and mountains. And that is kind of like where your domain is, to an extent. And that is where the village is situated. So there is dune desert around it, but it does eventually come to larger mountains on the north, the ravine on the south, and the east a little bit further from it. And all that shit. So it is kind of sectioned in to this area. Sorry, I misinterpreted my map earlier when I originally described this area. Continue.
well, Merlin!
Alright. So, you leave Basilius so you can go do some talks for what seems like a few hours it's going to be, because at the moment it's 3 o'clock, so you have 3 hours of daylight left, because that travel is about 3 hours on Griffin back. It takes about 6 on fucking cart.
Sorry, Theolyn, the plot demands that I go elsewhere.
Okay.
Domino, as your character approaches, is there anything your character would like to discuss with Merlin? Like, we could just speed through this if you want spark notes, or we could actually go into direct discussion if you wish to.
I would definitely like to bring up the issues to do with the adamantine supply. I'd like him to either look into it himself or get Savala to take a peek at it in her spare time.
Interesting. Okay, so as you do, I'll make a little scene here. So as you do enter into the main tower in the northern central part of the fort village, which, mind you, they're replacing any of the old rotted wood and like stone walls with large slates of adobe and stone that are like palisades around the town, and they're starting to fortify those as well. The walls are about 10, 12 feet tall now, and you can see the refugee village on the outside has gotten smaller as they've added multiple houses, and they've stacked houses on top of each other like a crate stack as well. And they've repaired most of the scorching by now, but there is still some left you can see from above. As you enter in to the fort tower, you start to hear, "Oh, straighten your back, pull up your pants, tuck in your shirt," and as you walk up the first set of stairs, you can see in the main area, the main carpeted room, you can see Merlin is instructing Ara in proper etiquette at the moment. As Ara's like holding his back straight, he has a little bit of bags under his eyes from the work that he's been doing, but he seems to be taking his lesson very seriously. And Merlin turns around, Master Pharaoh, go take a break now, Ara. We'll get back to this in a few hours. What do I owe the pleasure?
How fares the young mayor?
As Ara bows and leaves, he's doing fine. He needs some aid in some areas, but he's very stalwart and very, very focused on making this town greater than it was under the previous.
I'm glad.
It seems your resurrection has left a mark on him, of course.
I have no doubt. Such a thing as death. Even if I were to leave him his youthful years, I doubt he would spend them honestly.
Well, before we continue, about the previous mayor, we have had the king send a few adventurers our way, the king specifically, and a few other adventurers come around. We've taken out a few rogue bandit groups, but we haven't been able to find Sir Brandley anywhere at the moment. We have pinned down a few locations that may be of note, but we haven't been able to muster the amount of forces required. We do have an adventurer sitting in the tavern in town, who's almost been taken off the list because the king sent him and he hasn't really done much besides kill a few bandits, but we don't want to be rude here, so we've kept him here for a bit of time, and possibly when we find, we'll send him out. He's allowed to do his own scouting, but Mandy's getting a little impatient, so... And you do recognize the name Mandy. It was the tiefling that you...
Yeah, no, I was about to say.
Yeah.
Mandy has turned up here.
Yes, I was told to inform some of your old party about what was going on, and she stalwartly and valiantly came over to take up the position of hiring adventurers and guarding the town in your absence. Not for the coming year or so, she's been contracted to the town, yes.
I see. Well, I'm glad to hear such a familiar name. There are so many strangers these days.
Strangers are always welcome.
Even so. In any case, yes. I would like to inquire about the pattern on the outskirts of the town.
Yes, a few of us have seen it. It started growing in last night, strange plants. I sent some individuals to scour the outskirts, and they brought back some strange lily-like flowers when they opened up the buds that were there. However, the flowers wilted almost immediately, like withered. Not really withered, they turned to ash when any of us touched them. For more than a few minutes. I think, and you do see like a small little girl of the town comes in. He goes, we do have a few batches coming in now. Thank you, Jazzleman. And he hands her a silver piece, and she hands him a basket of these flowers. And he puts them down. They have this reddish, and he lets you like start investigating them a bit. If you want to roll a nature investigation check, your choice.
I'm not particularly good at either, but we'll give it a shot.
Yeah. They have this reddish hue to them, and they almost look like fire when opened properly.
That's a 10.
10. You manage to open it, and though you do rip off one of the petals, it looks like a rose when it's budded up, but when it sprouts, it seems like when you force it open, it looks like a spider lily. But its colors are weird. It almost looks like a shifting fire-like pattern to it, and in the very center, there's just a bulb of bright yellow. It's oranges and red hues, and as you're looking at it, it's comforting to look at. And as you hold on to it, it seems to be the plant the flower is actually starting to grow its stems around your arm, and you're like, oh, that's weird, but it feels nice. It feels warm, like an embrace across your arm. And actually, which arm is your firearm?
Probably his left. It'd be awkward if it was right.
Yeah. Did you pick it up with your left, or are you holding it with your right?
I suppose he'd be holding it with his right.
Okay. It feels almost like a nice warm bath on your right hand, but not wet. As you're watching it, you can see the flowers starting to actually bloom now in your hand.
Important. Perhaps a gift.
Well, I would hope so.
Well. Yes, back to business. The adamantine supply is beginning to dwindle. There's been some manner of ruckus. If I may, I'd like you to look into it.
I am quite busy with things here. I do act as a liaison between the Citadel and here. I'm not really much for long-term travel. If I may be so bold, I could send Sivella instead.
I might have a more pressing issue for her. However you see fit to deal with it, or rather whomever you see fit, I'm sure there will be no problem.
I'll send a few of her agents that she's been training. Nice test for them.
As for her herself, Theolyn had found some manner of tower. I'd heard mentioned of a flaming knight. I am suspicious. I'd like her to look into it. Make no move, no imprint. I just want information.
That can be done. And you hear, it can be done. And who you hadn't noticed in the room, in the shadows at the moment, just listening to this entire conversation, is Sivella. Just information gathering, correct?
Nothing more.
No stabbing?
If this is what I think it is, I'd rather the stabbing myself.
Kidnapping?
No.
Understood. I'll hide any... It'd be quicker to go myself, but I would like the added protection. But seeing as this is just reconnaissance, I will go myself. Can I take any of the sand gliders that we have here?
Very well. Traveling on foot would be much too slow.
Agreed. It's a... I'll say you regale the details of what Theolyn would have told you. That would be a few days' travel. I have heard word of a place called the Iron Keep in that region. I'll start my investigation there.
Excellent.
It'll be a few weeks before I'm back, most likely.
Very well. I should be gone sometime myself.
All right.
There are pressing matters. I will return when I can for brief windows.
Of course. Well then, I'll be gone. And she begins to walk out of the room. Merlin looks to you and goes, well, looks like we're getting busy again.
Never a dull moment, it feels. One short year to breathe.
You seem excited.
And part of me is. In all honesty, I'd missed this. Perhaps more than my soul had known. Iron rusts, after all. It's past time I shake it off.
Shake it off. Shake it off.
God.
At this point, I'll say, like, going into details about certain things. If there's anything else you would like to talk about, you can. But I'll say hours are starting to pass as you're starting to get into more details with him about what's going on. Going over, like, certain laws that you want to pass or anything in your domain. Certain, like, just bullshit stuff like coinage and whatnot. Some strange people, like the bandits attacking carts coming through, as well as Lord Pochi sending a missive to you mentioning that some of his carts for his businesses have been getting robbed in your domain as they pass through. Is there anything else you would like to discuss with him?
Just one brief thing. I would like to try and get Pochi as in the loop on this whole thing as possible.
Okay, so you'll have a message sent to him then.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the loop on the issue regarding the caravans, not anything else.
Okay, good to know. I was like,
Alright.
man, you're going to tell him about going against the king? Okay. I will say you also hear the political side with the aid to the king who you were supposed to save in Alaris, but never did. Your group, anyways, being found and in a comatose state for who knows how long. Pochi has been ascended to the aid to the king at the moment.
Oh, good heavens!
Mm-hmm.
Oh no!
He's one of the higher-ranking nobles, and with Sir Ember Phoenix missing, that house doesn't have a noble in the seat just yet. Though you do know of a strange individual. His son Keegan is currently adventuring down in Riverton.
Alright, I'll see about recruiting him. I'll put it on my damn list.
I'll say it's one of the things that's kind of down on the list. It's not really important right now. Out of character, it was a player character, and that comes up later. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Not for like 5-6 months in game, because that's when he's actually done adventuring. The DM says.
My
Anyways.
God.
Well,
Alien.
Evans, me. Look at the time. And he looks out, and you can see the sun is setting. The blues and whites are turning to oranges and yellows, and nearing the starry sky. I believe it's time for you to get some rest, sir. You have a long day of journeying ahead of you, unless you wish to set out for the night. It's much more dangerous now.
That it is. Last I rode at night, I had a sour experience, one could say.
Take the night, get some sleep. Revel in the town. Get a drink, maybe.
We'll just see about that.
Alright, well.
I'll say you get up to the top of the tower to just take a look at your town here for a second. As you do, as the sun begins to finally set over the night, you watch as all the flowers that seem to create this spider lily-like pattern around the town, like not even in its borders, around it. Actually, no, a few that are that spread in it, seem to bloom. And you see this beautiful burning flower, a spider lily of flame that is just emblazoned across the town.
What a nice scene.
And
I think this is a great time for me to go piss.
Sure, let's take a small break here.
Be right back.
Alright. We're going to take like a 3-minute break here, so I'm going to mute myself and decide what happens next. And,
Oh boy.
Yeah. Anyways, actually before that, Chiron, are you taking a break?
Yeah. No, I'm good to go. I have my drink of water. I
Okay.
don't need to do anything.
So, what do you think so far? Just a little
I'm
in between
liking-
for people who watch this part, you know?
I'm liking the political aspect. I'm very into like political shit. I'm not very knowledgeable about it, but I like watching it. So hearing about all this is pretty fun for me.
Anyways, your character was getting beat the shit out of this entire time, but yeah.
Oh, I got stabbed once.
Yeah, still fucking hurt you, didn't it?
It did hurt. It dealt like 50 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
I was down at 80 from 130. It was getting a little bad, bro. We killed it.
Mm-hmm. Let's just say, had it started its round closer to you, both y'all would have been fucked.
Yeah.
It has more than just sword attacks.
Would Ryan Farrow now at whatever tower balcony thing be seeing me and V's character coming back with all those
well,
people?
I'm gonna get to that when he gets back, you know.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Well, in technicality, you guys made it at like sunset, and he was still talking to Merlin around sunset, so I'm unsure. Domino, roll me a D100, Domino, please, as we're coming back from break now.
Oh no.
Just to see if an event happens while you get to the tower, or if it happened while you're talking to Merlin.
54.
54? Alright, it happens. So, as you're at the top of the tower watching as these blooms are starting to come, you look out towards the eastern side of your town, towards the large refugee camp that the king sent to you at your request. And you see a small foot caravan. People walking on foot, a large amount of them. About 30 to 50 individuals, mostly in ragged clothing or torn clothing, some of them with like shackles on their neck, their wrists, and their legs, walking, and you see what looks like an Eastern warrior, like think of a samurai, like a Ronin, which out of character would be a person from the land of Sakura in this game, but you see a Ronin carrying a pike and 2 swords, as well as your apprentice, Theolyn, off in the distance, walking with these people, talking to them, as you see a few of these individuals are carrying a large, lush, white couch with golden cording on it, like a love seat.
Alright, well, let's go and meet them.
Yeah. So, as you begin to walk through town, people are talking to you, and they're like, one of the architects comes up to you, Sir Pharaoh, if you have a time, can I speak to you about a building project really quickly?
Be swift. Walk with me.
Oh, yes, of course. And he starts to pull out some blueprints. So we were thinking of building a statue to commemorate the actions you took that night, about the blazing flame that's ran through the town. He starts to show you some blueprints. It's not going to be built for a while because we need to fix up the town, of course, and he starts to show you blueprints, and he starts to show you a few of them. Some of them where you have your sword risen, and fire seems to fly around you and up your sword to the tip, where you see there's like a building that's being broken apart. There's one where you have your sword in the ground, just standing there as like what seems to be a gemstone is at the pommel of your sword, and it glows almost like a large diamond. He goes, this one's going to cost a bit more if you want that one. And then he starts to show you a few more. Those two are the base designs that I can think of. But if there's one that you would like, that you would think would be better, you could give him your idea, and he'll talk to Ara to see if it's possible. And make adjustments how they see fit. What do you think?
Very well. No embellishments. Diamonds and jewels are unnecessary. But if you wish to commemorate after proper housing has been constructed, that is your decision.
Of course, of course. And of course, we'd love your input, so if you could just send like any blueprints that you would like of a statue of any kind, and we'll fix it up a little bit. And he starts to walk off. As you eventually get to the eastern side of town, where you see, walking in, Theolyn and this Ronin are talking, and they're partway into what you could see multiple drinks in their hands. The Ronin pats them on the shoulder, and people are like discussing with them. It seems like a bunch of the people of the town have like seen this entourage, and they joined it, and you see the Ronin goes, and that's when this guy, and he puts his hand around Theolyn, that's when he blew the motherfucker up. And you see Theolyn is like a little rosy at the cheeks, obviously drunk. Because in my games, you don't get immunity to poison and disease, you get a +10 and advantage, because it makes it so much easier for you to succeed, but it's also a little bit like if you continue to drink, you could get drunk if you want. But Theolyn is like also adding into this dramatic flair of the scene, and kind of, he's a weird drunk. He seems to be a bit into it. He's leaning into the Ronin's personality at the moment.
And that's when I ran around this monster, and I got my sword, and I bring out my great sword.
He brings out his great sword, and I'll say, because you're drunk as shit, you take 6 points of slashing damage. You see his sword just alights in flame and radiant energy as he just holds it, and you see like he cuts his arm as he does it on accident. You look down to your arm, Theolyn, and it starts to bleed.
Ow. Anyways.
And people back up, like, what the fuck? And the Ronin goes, and yeah, you see this pike here, and he, like, stabs you in the shoulder. This is what I kept doing. Theolyn, you suffer 3 points of piercing damage.
Oh, my hands, myself, as it's happening. Good.
Ryan, you're watching this scene as they walk past you without seeing you.
All right. Well, I'm gonna move in front of them, I suppose.
Alright. Because they're moving with an entourage, so they're moving pretty slow. You walk in front of them, and like the entourage splits, and they still don't see you, and the Ronin walks past, but Theolyn bumps into you and stumbles.
Oh, ow, what? Oh, sir. I'm obviously drunk. It's good to see you. I did a thing.
I'll say the lay on hands is starting to take effect now, and the drunkenness is starting to wear off, and you're realizing the how you look in front of your lordship.
Oh shit! Oh fuck! I'll cancel the blade because I assume it's still on fire.
Yes.
I'll cancel it. Oh fuck! Sir Ryan Farrow. Me and the samurai over there, he's still walking. We went out. I offered to help him explore for the bandits. I met him in the tavern, and we found them, and we killed a monster thing that was there that was currently dealing with all the bandits. It was on a rampage.
At this point, the samurai is singing like a drunken tale as he's starting to go. Everyone's starting to follow him, except for the entourage you were with. They're like stopping with you and Ryan.
Yeah, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the former mayor was there, and I turned to one of the slaves, right? Yeah.
One of the town members that was taken, and you recognize them, Ryan, because you saw them a few times before the mayor made off on their way, looks at them and goes, yes, the former mayor, Sir Brandley, was there. He was enslaving individuals, yes.
Yeah, he was there. He died.
Do you mind if I go back to my family now?
No, yeah, all of you can go if you wish to.
Well, most of these people, like, most of them are not from this village.
Well, we'll deal with that later.
Yeah, those who are from this village start to spread out towards their homes and their families and whatnot. But those who aren't are like sticking around a little bit. Like they're awkwardly sticking around. Some are like digging with their toes in the dirt. Some are like looking at the small stands that are in the refugee village, like picking up items like, that looks good, and putting it back down as they like side eye the conversation.
Yeah. Apologies to you all. These are former captives, and me and the samurai managed to free them. There is still a lot of valuables in the bandit cave. Hold on.
It seems someone's
There's
still. Sorry, go ahead.
It was my sister. Yeah. There's a lot of coin and a lot of valuable things that need to be collected and possibly brought back here. And I like show off my coat. This was the former mayor's coat. It's like a bag of holding in a sense. I have 50,000 gold coin on me at the very moment 500,000 gold coin on me that I would like to give to the mayor to possibly help with the town's buildings.
That is most charitable and very wise idea. To the rest of these people, however, I am Ryan Farrow, I am the lord of these lands. You are welcome to stay as long as you need. The administrators of this place will help you find your homes. Escorting you there may be a more laborious task. If you are an individual who can arrange for your own transport and has the resources, excellent. If not, I'm sure a measly share of this 500,000 gold will most certainly do in escorting you.
There's like a murmur amongst the crowd and like nods of heads. And as you're looking around here, Ryan, you start to notice most of the individuals with like collars or like slave-based attire are demi-humans, which are like humans with animalistic traits, which are seen as lesser beings in Durath, and most do not live in Durath. They live in the surrounding... Well, they live in Durath, but, like, not in the Empire. Which you recognize that the Empire... If these slaves were taken from outside the Empire, and transported all the way up here, someone had to have the means and funds to do that. And you don't think the old mayor would have done that, so the fact that he had them means he definitely had to have stolen them from some cart traveling through these lands. And you immediately recognize that the capturing of slaves outside of the Empire without war-based merit in doing so, and supplying them into the Empire itself is considered a pretty high crime in the Empire. You're allowed to enslave people in the Empire, not through force, but through lawful means, but outside the Empire, it's kind of not their jurisdiction, so they don't want to fuck with that shit, so they don't want to make enemies, so that it's against the law.
If any amongst you should require a new home, or need to stay here for an extended period, quarters can be arranged, though I cannot promise luxury. Here, you will find no chains nor burdens. However, any aid you might wish to lend would be most deeply appreciated. Until then, however,
He's going to walk up to one of the slaves with the collar still on their neck
Okay.
and proceed to break it.
So, are you just trying to break it with your hands?
I'm gonna go for it. You know what?
Alright, roll me an athletics check. It's a pretty high DC because these are considered magical items. And as you get up to it and you're about to break it, you inspect it. I'll have you roll the athletics check first, but...
Alright. Jesus fucking Christ. Natural 20, total of 33.
Yeah, so you walk up and your fiery hand touches it and you see the individual wince for a second, but you basically calm them down, and the fiery heat seems to orange glow the collar and makes it brittle as you snap in two. You look down. You recognize this collar. This is the collar used by the slave traders of Durath specifically. But you recognize this make and a mark on it almost immediately. This is definitely Sir Pochi Anderson's type of slave collar. And you see them on every single slave here. And you get the feeling you know what was being stolen from those carts heading to his territory.
Oh no.
there will come a day when I break that man's crown and put all his servants to the sword.
Pochi Anderson isn't the king, just a reminder. I don't know if you... Because you said crown, so I don't know.
Yeah, no, he's projecting a little bit on Vaughn.
Okay, yeah. Just making sure.
Well,
With the gesture made, he is going to show the rest of them to the town's blacksmith. Or some manner of
The village has like a toolsmith. It's not really a blacksmith, it's like a guy who knows how to... You know, But
If
actually,
he can make
your three squires are still here in town, and they have learned smithing on their ways here. So yeah, no, there would be a pseudo blacksmith, but he's kind of like a guard to the town, so he doesn't do it all the time.
So long as he can fucking, like, do something with a lock, I'm sure it's fine.
It's less of a lock and more of a signature pattern, a mana signature pattern. That's like it's a latch that latches around the neck to an extent, and then it has a gem placed around the trachea, like on that area of the collar. And the only way to remove it is to dispel the magic in it, to destroy it, or to like with enough force to destroy it, or to match the mana signature in it.
I have Dispel Magic, but I can only cast it twice.
I think I need more wizards.
Speaking of wizards, because I forgot about this until now, you do see walking around the town, stretching a little bit. It's going to be a busy day tomorrow. Gotta teleport all these to the siege. And you can see a very familiar face, a friend, Barnabas, who seemingly has like 50 barrels of water in front of him. He's like marking down on a small spreadsheet. All right. This. Alright. 50 barrels of water. Teleport into there. Done. Oh, Ryan, it's been a while. How you doing?
I've been well enough. Are you setting up operations here?
Not a store yet. I'm just passing through, trading some wares. On my way to... what is it? I think I was going to travel to Dust Valley here soon. Lord Craig wished to speak with me about something, and some of the members of the houses wished to procure items. So, well, this isn't his voice. Sorry. My friend, this is his voice. There we go. Wished to procure a few items, but I've been in Ordon most of the day, speaking with a few friends. I met another Bill.
There seems to be no shortage of them.
This one had celestial blood, though. And I'm sending him on a date with my daughter.
Oh?
It was her idea. It was her idea. Sorry, family business. Anyways, I am having to prepare them for a siege over there in Fafnir because the Lich is sieging a city. But I'm making some money from it.
Might I offer you a bit of advice?
Of course.
It might perhaps be in your best mercantile interest to encounter some manner of delay in your service to Craig Silverton.
It can be arranged. Oh, actually, one other thing. I believe his name was Corwin Durandon or something. He mentioned something about a pharaoh. Someone, a noble with the last name Pharaoh over in Fafnir who was working out of Oradon. And if I remember correctly, he mentioned something about them working for the Great Lich Horcles. Someone named, I believe it was Tobias. Do you know someone like that? I'm just asking because you have the last name Pharaoh too, so I don't know if you're related or something.
More intimately than you know.
Well, it seems he's doing bad things, just so you're aware.
Unfortunately. Though I believe he can be redeemed. I have suspicions that these actions are not of his own volition. Perhaps one of your wares can be of assistance, but such things are for a later time.
I could see if Corwin and his gang, when they're done with their little raid and everything, can look into it a little bit more.
Excellent.
Of course. Oh, and one more thing. I heard a funny rumor. Are you headed towards Kutola soon?
I might be.
Well, he hands you a piece of parchment, like a rolled up piece of parchment and a sending stone. This is a one-way sending stone. You won't be able to receive messages back. This is to allow you to contact those other individuals I was mentioning, Corwin and funny fish man named Basilius. Because they're over on that side of the world, in case you want to meet up with them for some reason. Oh, and this map here, it's a small map of some important locations on Kutola that might provide some interesting materials. If you do happen to go there and mine some, I'd be willing to pay top dollar for them. I will remind you, because I don't think you recall, Kutola is called the Isle of Monsters, because anybody who has tried to settle there for its natural resources, rich mithril resources and stuff like that, settlements have been destroyed almost instantly. It is filled with ancient creatures, giants, large golems, swaths of enemies. It's probably one of the most dangerous places in the world because of monsters. It is swamp, grassland, mountains. It is multiple different terrains on a small island filled with monsters. So it's impossible to settle almost. So that's why any resources coming from there, because it has really good resources, would be top dollar, basically.
Alright, well, I have that added to the list.
Well, is there anything you need from me? I'm sorry to say this, but make it quick. I just got another message. I gotta get going in a second.
Well, to circle back to your service to the Silvertons, perhaps it might be best while you're encountering these delays to perhaps finish business with Craig's younger brother, Advar Silverton. He should be much easier to reach.
Possibly. If I can find
You cannot see me winking through the helmet, but I am, assuredly.
Of course. It was always hard to read you. That's why I didn't really muddle with the prices. Anyways. I've got to get going. I've just been... Yes, I know, I'm coming. And you see him, like, talking to nothing. Coleman, you sack of shit. Nice face. Customers, they're paying top dollar. Snaps his fingers and disappears.
He seemed tense.
A busy man, for certain, but a good one. I need more wizards in my presence. Despite Bemen's position, he is not yet very potent in his craft, though I am certain he will come onto his own quickly.
Well, perhaps these lizard folks you intend to help may have some wizards who'd be willing.
At the very least, some aid to Bemen. Well, on the topic, we should get some rest. We set off early tomorrow.
Okay.
So, as you find rest for the night, some of you in lavish abodes, and some of you in drunken bars, getting a little bit more drunk with your friends, you eventually awaken at first light. And as you climb atop the fiery griffin, you begin to take off into the air. I assume you're doing the griffin, right? It's much faster.
Oh, yeah. God, no. Nothing else. Just the griffin. Always the griffin.
So, as you take off at 6 in the morning, you see that the blooms are starting to not wither, but close up for the day. It seems they only come to at night. And you also notice, both of you, the blooms have spread to almost surround the town. But it's not the blooms specifically, it's just other flowers and other pieces of vegetation. And you could see that same pattern is still burned into the area around with the blooms around the town, but grass is growing out of the desert.
Oh.
It appears with the gathering of people, water is collecting in the sand.
True,
I'll say
whenever
this.
you did to that.
Yeah, well, before that, you do notice this because it's the tinge of sunlight coming in. The grass has a gilden kind of glow to it.
Your very particular choice of that word causes me to arch my eyebrow some.
You suddenly see a robed figure walking through the grass like in Spartacus, his hands
Oh
out.
my...
No.
Shit!
Hold on. That's really funny. The new wall art that I found.
Please don't. That's not for like a year and a half, man. Hold on.
Okay, just just for the I'm gonna send it to you. For now at least.
Bro, if it's exactly what I was saying, that's gonna be hilarious.
Like, I shit you not.
Hold on, let's see it. Let's see it.
It's a lot of grass. Wait, no, yeah, that's fucking sand in the background. Oh my god.
Oh, anyway, sorry. So, as you eventually make your way back to the Citadel, you pick up the armor that you have for, fuck, can't remember his name.
Advar.
Advar. Yeah, I knew it was an A. I was like, Arin. It's not Arin. Advar. Is there anything else you'd like to do at the Citadel, or would you like to continue on your way?
I'm off.
Is it called the
Let's
King's
go.
Iron Citadel? I can't remember.
I've just been referring to it as the Citadel.
Yeah, you haven't come up with a name yet.
I'll christen it proper here tonight.
Okay. So, as you guys continue along your way, flying a tiny bit south, but mostly east, you pass over the savannas of Renil. I'm gonna roll a d100 for the day of travel. If there's any roleplay or anything you would like to do as you're passing over, you do see storm clouds starting to pour some rain upon the savannah. Only a little bit.
What do you think, Theolyn?
You're gonna have to be a little more specific. Think of what?
The question itself is broad.
All right. I think the town, with the money that we bestowed upon them, is gonna really flourish, and I'm very happy about that. And I hope this little venture to help these lizard folk goes well. I don't know much about this island of monsters, but I hope we can give them the help they need.
They must be a hardy people indeed to survive there.
Yes, indeed, which makes it all the more worrying about what could possibly be dangerous or difficult enough for them to seek aid.
We will be enough, I am certain.
Oh, I have no doubt we'll make it out fine. It's just a ponder for thought, I guess. It intrigues me. I've only ever been in Durath. This is actually my first time flying out of continent. Though, well, that's a lie. I went to the Angelic Islands once for my fuck, what was it called again? A religious.
Yeah, it's a pilgrimage.
Yeah, my pilgrimage, but that was very brief, and I was mostly on a boat, and it was a very directed path, very planned. I didn't actually get to explore much.
You
So
might be humored to know this is my first time. Period. There is no minor exception. I was born a whelp in Durath, and I was raised into the man I am in Durath.
I will say, at this point, as you're saying this and starting to talk to Theolyn, he's having to hold on to you because, like, there's nowhere else he could hold on to besides some flaming fur. But you start to notice, like, bits and pieces of Theolyn. Like, this is gonna sound very weird because I don't think the characters are into each other. But you notice, like, a strange warmth as he's holding on to you, and you're like looking at him, and you can see pieces of his arms sometimes reflect kind of like burning ash or embers coming off of him, and you start to realize he's like focus on that a little bit. There's the presence of the king within him.
The Iron Crown has taken to you, hasn't it?
Yes, I after your fight with that other version of you, as I trail off a bit, you went to your chambers almost immediately. I thought to, I don't know, give you a sense of relief. Maybe I went to that evil version sword and removed the curse from it, and that was the sword I was holding earlier. But before I could give it to you, the king, I plunged it into flame because I figured that's what it was calling for, and the King in Iron offered me a chance to form a pact of some kind to aid you, and I took it.
I see.
Uh, so now I have the mark of the king, as I think you said it, and I don't know if you want the sword back. You're more than welcome. To my understanding, it might be some heirloom. I'm not sure, but I've renewed it in the purpose of giving it to you. But if you don't want it, that's fine too. I've been making use of it in the meantime.
Ryan, as you take a closer look at his sword, it has similar look and design to your family sword, but it's shifted and changed a little bit. It has a dragon swirling around it of golden color, and it has strange red ribbons wrapped around its base. Its color has changed a little bit, but its shape reminds you of the sword your father gave you.
The blade has taken to you. The very steel imprints itself with your nature.
Mm.
I have one of its like already. This one is yours.
Okay. Thank you for this sentimental, I guess, gift. Maybe I don't know. It was yours to begin with, I guess. But
You hear
I'll
in
put it.
your head, Theolyn, as you're speaking. His oath, his devotion, has seen him through. The sword of a corrupted and fallen knight is not one for him to wield, but for you to redeem.
Shit. I will
The
that was
connection fades for a moment.
ah damn it. Yeah. Uh I'll make sure this sword is put to better use than its previous owner.
Hmm.
And who knows?
As you fly over the savannas, having this conversation, you look down and see a large red hippopotamus breathing fire at a small group of adventurers as they start to cut up at it, and a small battle ensues as you fly past it. Continuing along.
He is vocal. There is no one who puts more out there his statements than the bearer of the Iron Crown.
You could say that again. He saved me from a terrible situation. Very odd situation, but dangerous all the same.
That is the reason I am so fond of him. The gods, you see, their divinity is cast in light. They reside in the heavens, a plane apart from our own. But the king, you see, his flesh is iron, a metal that runs deep in the earth and deep in our veins. It rains from the sky, and it calls from the doldrums of the very dirt beneath our feet. If there is a material more reflective of our world than iron, I do not know it.
You are very passionate about the king, and I can see why. It is nice to see. I hope the king has more faithful followers like yourself. It must bring him comfort to know. In a sense, I don't know how the divine feel.
The faith in his name is swelling, but for a time there were but 3 worshippers. Of those 3, I am the last to remain.
But you won't be the last in the coming days.
Of course. It is very easy to forget one has company. Sitting on an ivory tower.
As you guys begin to pass through, you see these large mountains that seem to jut out in the plains, 3 of them. And as you begin to pass by, 2 of them are left in the distance behind you as a single one is still in front of you, standing taller than the other 2.
Still, even I have my flaws. And the others, Jacobin and Tobias, they still breathe. I hope one may even be redeemed. The other, however, has been condemned already.
Redemption is a path any one person may walk, but it is those with resolve that can truly see its end. And for your friend, I take it, if they're anything like you, then redemption should be a highly possible outcome.
That's quite the irony. He is portrayed as my opposite. I was labeled the unrelenting fury of our king, his unstoppable force. Tobias, the one who may yet be brought back, was his shield. Iron breaks before it bends. The immovable object, many so poetically inked. Even still, an irony and nothing more. His actions, at least I hope, are not of his own choosing. If by some miracle I can free him, he need but atone.
I don't know what to say to that.
It's at this point, night's falling. You can see in the distance the large cliffside faces of the mountainous gorges and regions of the Dust Valley cliffs. The canyons that split the Ryen district to the northeastern section of Durath, outside of the Empire's reign. At this height, you can see in the distance where the desert-like canyons smooth down into a valley-like tundra that expands for miles. The canyon-like mountains continue to the eastern side, skirting the edge of the coast, and to the southern side, the large valley continues along to a forest. As you descend towards the mountains. Oh, my internet's cutting out for a second. Give it a second. Hello?
No, I think that's the music bot.
No, my internet's getting shitty. Give me a second. I'll rejoin the call. Hello?
Hey,
Hello.
Yeah, no, my internet's going up, down, up, down, up, down, too. Disconnect AOD. Let's see if it works if I get it back. Am I roboting for you guys or no?
no, I can hear you just fine.
That's weird because my internet says it's being weird.
Mm.
Anyways. So, as night approaches, do you guys continue to fly through the night, or do you land?
under the pretense of pragmatism, but perhaps in the shadow of fear, Ryan is going to land on one of the mountain cliffs, a broader one, hopefully.
Okay. You land on one of the mountainous cliffs of the canyons nearby at the edge. And you can see not too far from this cliffside. A few miles ahead. If you wish to keep flying, maybe an hour at most. Small light, which you recognize as the town of Borderton. Not too far away.
I will take a warm bed of a cold stone.
I don't mind flying for a bit, though I do have this neat brooch now. I don't know if there's a bed inside of it, though.
I will remind you, Theolyn, you are still at 1 point of exhaustion.
True.
All right, well, let's get to Borderton.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, continuing along to Borderton. That's not good.
Oh no.
So, as you continue to fly, Ryan, you watch as a stagecoach-like carriage begins to careen fast towards the Empire from Borderton. You can see lanterns around the fields of Borderton, because this is near a savannah, so there's large, fields of both grass and wheat that seem to be around Borderton. And you could see large, lanterns being held on poles as people are searching the grass area as the stagecoach continues to move eastward as you fly above it and past it.
Mm-hmm.
You could hear shouts like, "Where'd they go?" And people are seemingly searching for something. Or someone.
Would it be the stagecoach?
It could be. But there is no certainty.
There's only certainty in steel. No, I'm just fucking with you. Do you continue? Do you stop? What do you want to do? You're a few minutes from Borderton at this point.
Oh, very well.
I'm going to attempt to land in front of the stagecoach.
Alright, you immediately U-turn and fly, and you're much faster than the stagecoach. Land in front of it as the driver and turns the coach to see if he can get out of the way. Nope. It lands on its side, careening into a small cavern to the side of this large gorge, and it falls about 10 feet to the ground as a side of it shatters. The stagecoach driver lands, and it lands on top of his legs. You hear a snap.
Ooh, that doesn't look good.
The air is getting much colder over here because it is near tundra, mind you. As you land and get over to the edge of the canyon, you can see through the stagecoach. The stagecoach has no windows, and you can see what seems to be the as the wood seems to have split a little bit, the sheen of metal inside the stagecoach.
That was a bit more dramatic than I'd hoped.
Ah! My fucking legs! Ah!
Oh boy, that doesn't look good.
And he passes out.
Oh my.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go try and lift the stagecoach out from under him to the discomfort of whoever's inside.
Alright, you climb down and you begin to lift the stagecoach. Theolyn, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go to the guy who fucking passed out, try and get his broken legs in a more aligned position and attempt to
So, as the stagecoach is lifted and you're let me get these legs out, his legs are chopped off. From the knees downwards. It seems whatever little bits of metal were on the edge of the stagecoach slammed down and guillotined his legs off. And as soon as you move him out, blood starts to gush. Okay.
Oh boy.
He's still breathing, but you can see he's losing a lot of blood at the moment. As the rain is still pouring down and making this a very cold and wet night. Its mud is starting to get everywhere.
Well, only one thing we can do. I'm gonna cauterize his wounds.
Sure.
God damn it! We can just reattach the plates.
He's unconscious, so he's not able to scream out. Actually, no. He comes back to consciousness due to the pain. You hear, ah! As you just cauterize his legs, and then he falls out unconscious again because of the pain.
Ryan, his legs are right there.
I'm sorry. Do you know the regeneration spell?
No, no, but
Conventional healing cannot reattach severed limbs.
I'm a
I've
healer's
tried.
kid. I'm trained in surgery. Trained in this.
Yes, do a very specific surgery in a small crevasse on the side of a road with mud and rain and cold temperatures affecting you. It won't do anything to the surgery.
I can totally do it. Okay. I'll try and make it so he doesn't fucking die. From
He's not-
pain or shock.
Okay. How you doing stuff?
I'll like try to keep him warm. I guess from this cold, I'll
Well, the shock is
do a
more
little bit
so
of-
the fucking cauterizing his legs.
I'll do a lay on hands, maybe of like 5 points, just to soothe the pain a little bit.
He comes back to consciousness, looks at you, screams, and starts to like crawl away from you. He like crawls over to like where he was sitting and like grabs a bag and starts to try and pull something out of it, but he's fidgeting with it. He keeps staring back at you.
Hey.
It's this old like gravedigger looking man with like long scraggly hair, a wide brimmed like low hat, and a coat over. He goes and he reaches into the bag and you see him pull something out and he shoots at you with a revolver.
Oh boy.
What's your AC?
17.
All right, I'll say you're not able to use any reactions here because you're like, what the fuck is? It deflects off your armor. Let's see, Ryan, what's your AC?
Much too high for this guy, I think.
What is it?
I'm trying to. Oh, god damn it! Hold on. I closed the wrong application. Oh, it's only. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't have my spicy magic armor, so it's just an 18 right now.
Yeah, he hits you. Like it bounces, it ricochets off Theolyn's armor, and as you're like putting the stagecoach back down for a second, you suddenly feel, and you feel warm, and you like reach your hand up, and like your neck is bleeding, and you're like, that's not right. You do suffer 4 points of piercing damage, minus whatever your heavy armor master feat is.
I'm actually that damage is completely negated by heavy armor master.
All right, you reach up to your neck and you pick a bullet off your neck, and you're like, huh? You just throw it to the ground.
I'm going to grab the fucking barrel of the man's revolver with my fire hand, which, as you've written, burns it over 2,000 degrees, and attempt to melt the barrel closed.
You just like take it and go, no, shut.
Just to pinch the ends of it together.
It closes, he goes, ah! And he tries to fire it again. Explodes on him. Yeah, he dies from that. His hand explodes, and he's unconscious, dying faster.
I'm gonna cauterize his blown up hand.
God damn it.
He comes back to. He reaches for the bag and pulls out like a small hand dart and throws it at you, but it just goes fucking wide.
I'm gonna confiscate the bag now.
You grab the bag and he like tries to grab it from you, and like you're just now holding him as he's dangling from the bag with no legs, a missing arm.
Hey, calm down.
He spits at you.
I wipe it off like passively. I just don't care. Come on.
I will take care of him later.
I'm going to put him in the bag.
Wait,
The solution is always the bag.
let's talk about.
It is terrifyingly convenient. Even
Meanwhile-
I fear its
In
power.
the bag, Bevan over here. Man, this is some good shit. An old man randomly in the bag for some reason. Yeah, I know. Hey, who's this? Hey there, Nugget Man, how you doing? Anyways, continuing.
Let's just see what's inside this.
Going to open the door to the buggy, whatever.
Okay. You see a safe in the back, and it's been broken open, and you could see there's a few documents, a bit of gold and whatnot.
Can I read the document?
Yeah, sure. The few documents that are in here are just like some manuscripts for trading, things like that.
This must belong to the village over there, Forterton.
No, it's a manifest basically. Things he's sold, things he hasn't.
Oh,
There is one thing he hasn't sold, it seems, on the list. It says, what would it be? It would be exotic cat.
can I look in the cart for the cat?
Make an investigation check.
Oh shit, I'm bad at these. Yeah. That's the wrong channel. Good thing I didn't roll it. 13.
You don't find a cat or anything that's like reminiscent of a cat anywhere in here. But what you do find is a strange backing to this safe.
Backing?
Yeah, a strange back to the safe. Like the safe came dislodged a little bit, and you can see that the safe is much further back than the actual back to the safe. You get the feeling it might be a false back.
Can I try and remove the false back?
Yeah, make me an intelligence check.
Like just straight.
Sorry, no, this
okay.
would be sleight of hand specifically.
Oh, I'm terrible at that. Straight 120. Nat 1.
You're not even sure if this is a false back. Maybe it's just a padded safe. Like, you spend a good, 5 minutes, trying to tinker with it. You're like, Domino, what are you doing for 5 minutes?
For 5 whole fucking minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if the stagecoach driver is willing to talk now, I can try and talk to him.
You pull him out of the bag and he goes, Look. I thought you were after me. That's my bad. All right. Yeah, you took my arm because of it. That's fine. Just let me go on my way, and we'll be good. We'll call it even Stevens. You can have whatever. You can have all the money in the safe. I don't care. I don't care if you're bandits. Just leave me alive, please.
Can I ask why you had this?
The firearm?
I do not care about your weapon. The safe.
I'm a trader. I'm a merchant.
Where are your wares?
I sold them.
What about the cat?
The cat can go fuck itself.
Then
Oh,
why
yeah.
is it on your list?
Well, I couldn't really sell it, so I just kicked it out into the street.
So why were you moving so fast?
The cat's causing me problems. Town didn't like the cat being, around.
I'm not very fond of violence. Save for the fact that I am very fond of violence.
Is that cat dangerous?
In the wrong hands?
The cat can be used.
In a way. In multiple ways.
Ryan, if that cat is loose in town,
You will give us more information on the cat.
Roll an intimidation check, please.
yo, can I give him advantage?
Sure.
I have.
Well, no, Bacillus, he's talking to him in the 5 minutes you're doing shit.
Oh, right, my bad.
All right. Let's see here. You know what? Ryan likes overkill. We're gonna luck of the gods this shit.
What?
Isn't Luck of the Gods only specifically for saving throws?
No, I'm pretty sure it's anything.
I might just be stupid.
Hold on. Well, now I have to check.
Oh no, that's Favor of the Gods.
Yeah, Divine Soul came out in Xanathar's.
Yeah. Divine Soul's weird.
Let's see here. Luck of the gods. Look at the god. Yep, favored by the gods.
Yeah, no, I think that's just saving throws then.
Oh, yeah, no. It's saving throws or if you miss with an attack roll.
Okay.
Not skill checks.
Okay.
Sad. Okay, 18.
18. Listen, it's a big cat. It's worth a lot. I really don't want to. I'll be admitting I was lying a little bit. I didn't throw the cat into town. It's in the safe, in the back safe, in the proper storage unit. I have it secured, locked behind. It is very dangerous. I wouldn't recommend you go into there. It's pretty big, and I was looking to sell it in. Okay, I was looking to sell it in Lord Pochi's land. He has a strange fascination with unique, exotic creatures, so I was looking to sell it to him for a lot of money. I need a lot of money because I am in a lot of debt from Rexumi.
And is the possession of this animal exclusively for novelty value, or does it have some manner of practical property?
Well, it could be used for practical things and many things, depending, but I was just going to sell it as an exotic animal.
Is it intelligent or beastly?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I've just been peddling it. I just throw food in there whenever it's hungry.
Do I hear this?
No, you're focusing on this fucking shit.
I will deal with you proper later. We'll see about replacing your limbs and setting you on your way. For now,
I could just keep crawling. You could keep the cat. I don't mind.
Back in the bag.
No.
All right. I'm gonna like poke my head into the cart.
You see Theolyn's like scratching his head. Like you could see an obvious false backing, but Theolyn's like, "Oh, that's not a false backing. Looks like I was wrong." And starts
Allow
to turn
me.
around.
He's going to punch the false back to the safe.
Damn it.
Okay. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Yay! I love athletics checks.
26.
Whoa.
26. Yeah, you break the safe. It's pure iron. It's not the certainty of steel, you know. As you break the safe, it just like crumbles inwards. Would you like to take a look at the inside?
Absolutely.
I sure would. Is there some kind of hammer space in there?
It's like a large space. Like it could fit you could fit a full-grown man in the back of the stagecoach standing up. So like 6-7 feet. As you like peer in, the both of you, you see what seems to be a cage in the back that is as tall as a grown human man, and you can see sitting in it what seems to be a demi-human. A child demi-human, a female, that seems to have cat-like features, and as you look in, she hisses at you.
You poor thing. Theolyn's
Oh.
immediately gonna try and free her, or like.
As
check
soon
her
as
for
you approach
wounds,
the
that kind of
cage, she
deal.
just like slashes at you with claws from her fingertips.
That's fine.
Misses.
That's fine. It's okay. It's okay. Fuck. Are you hurt?
She's staring at you intently. She backs away from the cage a bit. You can see there is a collar around her neck, one that is very familiar to the both of you because you've seen it very recently. And investigating the room a bit further, I assume Basilius is trying to break the cage open, correct?
Yeah, I want to break the cage and like care
She
for.
doesn't seem to have any
this guy.
wounds or anything, but she does seem a little emaciated. And you can see like just bits of jerky thrown around the inside of the back of this safe. Domino, as you're looking in, you do see what seems to be a small chest next to the cage.
if this is Pochi's definition of exotic animal, then perhaps he is somehow worse than I thought.
He's
Out of
gonna.
table talk. This isn't as bad as it's supposed to. This isn't as bad as it looks. Just so you guys are aware. But there,
Isn't as bad as it looks. Okay.
Domino, your character would know this because Pochi is somewhat has somewhat talked about this with other nobles and whatnot, and you would have heard this politically. He is a geneticist. He works with genetics.
This is
yes.
this is pretty bad.
So it's
Gonna-
still pretty
gonna-
bad, but it's not as bad as it sounded.
You know, I mean, like,
It's in character.
Anyways, continue.
I'm gonna open the chest.
You open the chest, and, like, it's locked, but your hand just melts the fucking lock. And you have your own skeleton key. You you open the lock, and you find what seems to be a bill of sale that is not fully signed yet, but it is definitely filigreed handwriting that states that he is to deliver the exotic cat Nima to Lord Pochi's estate.
I'm going to scan the document, make sure Ryan memorizes all of these details,
Okay.
and then promptly set it on fire.
All right. As you read it, the total sum of gold that would have been paid was 50,000. It seems the stagecoachman here was supposed to pick up Nima and transport her from Border Town from another trader, quotes, to Pochi himself. It seems this one was allegedly captured elsewhere.
He's going to look at her.
You see Theolyn is like brushing up and like starting to like cast lay on hands and whatnot and pull out some food for her.
Nima, do you know that name?
She looks at you. She seems to recognize it.
I see. You know that as your own?
She nods her head.
Can you understand completely?
She's eating at the moment, and like as she's eating, she's nodding her head.
Take your time, but once you've swallowed that mouthful, can you speak?
She tilts her head. Like she doesn't really understand the question properly. She seems to understand what you're saying, but as she finishes, you get, I'll say over the course of a small amount of time, trying to ask her the same question in different ways, you get the feeling that, and looking at her, she is young enough to probably have been captured within the last year and not learned to have spoken properly yet. Through talking to her, she does know a few phrases, but she is too young to know, like, she knows, like, hello, she knows her name, and she knows a few other things. Looking at her, her age is probably 6 or 7.
Fuck.
There is like to be a church in Borderton. Many of them will take orphans as acolytes. I would not subject her to a pious life without consent, but they will do well to hold her while we complete our business.
It's at this point, Ryan, you feel a blade at your neck. And you turn around and you see a familiar face. Advar Silverton, who, upon seeing your helmet, immediately pulls the blade away and goes, Ryan, you came.
You're here.
Yes, I was hunting slave trader in town that got revealed, but it looks like you beat me to it.
If you'd like to claim the bounty, I have him with me.
It's fine. I was just aiding the town because they had mentioned something about disappearing people lately, and this strange trader came into town, so we kind of revealed some strange means. It's late at night. We should probably get back to town and speak to the rest of the search party.
Yes. I won't be staying long.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine. Come along. And he starts to walk out of the area. You can see his beard has grown a little bit more at the moment. And as you guys begin to walk out, you tell him that you're not staying long, I assume, correct?
Yeah.
give him the general plan.
Okay, you're going to help Bemin. I understand. As you guys are walking through the fields, he looks towards one of the farmers. My friend here, Ryen and Theolyn, he caught the slave trader. We'll be bringing him in the morning. We have a few questions for him ourselves, and we want to get any information we can from him. Don't worry, you have my word. And the farmer goes, I got it, Sir Silverton. And he keeps walking. Interesting. Alright. Well, I need to make a few plans before I head to confront my brother. Plus, he's declared martial law recently, so things are going to get a bit tricky for me going into the tundra here. I think it is best for you to get some more friends before you aid me in whatever endeavors I need. Whenever you are ready, I will be heading in within the next few months, probably. It's good to see you.
Months.
Well, depending, I will need your aid, because I need that armor and maybe a few other friends.
Of
Depending
course.
on what you've said, if you're taking boat to travel or flying above the ocean, it'll take you a few weeks at least to get to to Hestelia, and then a few more weeks to get to Kutola, unless you could teleport there. But I believe Barnabas was busy in Oradon recently with his new store.
I believe I've misread the maps. Entire weeks of travel over the ocean. My steed is enchanted, that is certain, but I doubt even its strength could last quite that long.
Well, if I remember correctly, no, that's no. Draconia isn't too far away. It's nearing the halfway point of Marstethith at the moment, the wastes, down south, but that's another continent. If you wanted to travel there first, you could definitely travel to Snowden and catch one of the sky ships heading from Draconia to the ports of Oradon.
I may be able to call in a favor.
Well, you've been traveling a long time, it seems. You're a bit tired. You should probably get some rest for the night. We'll talk in the morning.
Indeed.
And make sure to interrogate the slave trader, please, and give me whatever information you get.
Are you positive you do not want to just take him now? He is rather easy to transport.
I could, but... yeah, fuck it, why not? Hand him over.
I'm gonna pull him out of the bag and hand it to him.
Well, you certainly did a number on him. And
Half of it was the cart.
The slave trader's looking at you. Okay, listen, I lied to you, and as you turn him towards Advar, he goes, oh, you gotta be fucking with me. Hey there, friend. How you doing? Shrill? That's his name now. Looks like we finally caught you. Caught up to you, huh? Listen, Advar, it's nothing personal. I've just been hot, and Advar just punches him and knocks him out. I'll take him with me now, and he puts him over his shoulders. I don't believe this man is responsible for what's been going on here, by the way, Ryen. So, if you see anything fishy over the night, or however long you're staying here, please let me know.
Certainly.
Do you hand him the armor before he leaves, or...?
Well, I mean, he's already carrying a guy. I'll hand it over in the morning.
That's true. Anyways, Advar leaves your party for the night as the rain continues to pour down upon the many roofs of this beautiful town. You see, built along the cliffside, there are many houses in different places that exist here. A few plateaus that seem to hang off of the cliffs themselves. And you see the town sprawls from the cliffside down to the large fields here. And you can see a large gate that exists between the two canyons that head further in towards Dust Valley. And they are closed for the night. You can see many torch poles that exist here. Many different stars in the sky that have different patterns from what you remember in the northern or eastern parts of the Empire themselves. You really haven't traveled too far this way. in the past. And when you haven't gone this far. The night sky is less polluted here than in like the larger cities. And it's at this point, the both of you, as you're like looking at the sky, looking a bit southwards, enjoying the scene as you start to walk towards an abode that you're provided, you both notice a beam of brilliant golden light far south and a little bit, far southwest of you, beacons into the sky. Most likely from a different continent.
Oh, the knowing.
No,
It beckons.
that's not for a year and a half, don't worry.
There's only one thing ever that's gold. Everything else isn't allowed now.
I'll say it's... I've mentioned him multiple times in another campaign I'm doing.
My.
Anyways.
I but humbly jest.
But yeah, no, you see this and you feel a radiant kind of pulse from it as you feel this energy roll over the world. Basilius, you feel holy energy, but it doesn't really phase you much. Domino, you feel the real gusto, the real dramatic feel to this. You feel the unleashing of celestial blood, as if a celestial has awakened to their actual nature. And you recognize it because you underwent it once. But this display of power is much bigger than your own.
Oh. Nifty.
I don't know why Discord keeps suppressing me, man. What is that? Is that you, Domino, or no?
No, I'm not fucking with it.
I don't know. I can't see who suppresses me either, which is weird.
That is weird. You're the server owner. You should be able to look in the chat.
Yeah, I shouldn't be... Yeah, no, I looked in the audit log, and it doesn't say anyone suppresses me. It just says I got suppressed. Ugh.
Huh.
Yeah, and I can't find the setting to take it away from people. Anyways, so, as you guys head into your abodes for the night, is there anything else you would like to do for the night, or would you like to sit down and rest?
Right to bed.
All right.
Early to bed, early to rise.
As you rise in the morning, the sun hits you with a golden glow. You realize your journey has a long way to go. So, what are you doing?
Alright. Is it still raining in the morning? Does that carry all throughout the night?
Yes.
Okay. So...
It's not like pouring rain, it's like small little gusts of clouds that have rain. Like you can see the early morning sun, but it's a little bit overcast, and you can see the glistening of dew on the large pieces of grass. It's a nice wind chill.
I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna climb up on the highest nearby thing I could feasibly get atop.
Alright, you climb one of the canyon walls.
I'm going to take out my metal sword.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stick it straight up into the air.
Of course.
And I'm going to do the stupidest thing that isn't going to work.
Sure.
I'm going to cast command on the clouds, and for my command, I will utter the word lightning.
You want it to strike your sword with lightning?
I would like to be struck with lightning.
Alright.
Okay.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Can I attempt to intimidate the lightning?
I'll say intimidation with advantage, sure, because you're using a spell command.
Rah!
Yo.
Okay, 22.
You hear in your mind a familiar voice go, "Oh shit, my bad, B." And you hear Bill just like suddenly clap his hands as suddenly lightning strikes your sword.
So, as his voice kind of utters momentarily in my head, I am trying to get his attention. Fun fact.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hold on. Let's see if he can actually join the call really quick. We'll give it like a minute here. But what are you thinking? What are you trying to do here?
Well, I do happen to be familiar with a god who I'm currently trying to get in contact with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna see if I can get him to hook us up with something. You know, something a little quicker than this.
Well, I'm seeing if he'll join. I'm letting him know what's going on.
Oh boy.
He's online right
You
now.
want us- yeah.
Oh, he's looking at it.
Knows.
He's peering. He's watching.
Should I spam him?
Nah, he knows.
We'll give him another minute or two. He's probably on YouTube or something.
On the old YouTube.
Yeah. You're trying to get a favor from him? So, Theolyn, as you like wake up in the
Yeah.
morning, you hear like that like Disney waking up movie scene, and like you stare at your window and you like crack your back. You're like, "The fuck is he doing?"
There's so much shit that happens with this man.
He's like a
Did we
lightning
never-
rod for shit, man.
Yeah. Literally in this case, but did we ever give that cat girl to a
No.
place to rest, or is she just with me? Okay.
No, she's
She's
with
with
you.
me.
Yeah, she's sleeping
Alright.
in like a chair in your room or something.
I mean, I would have offered her to bed, and I would have slept on the floor.
No, she would have slept in the chair.
All right. I guess. Well, what? I don't know. Do I go up to see his shit? Yeah, I'll do that. Actually, no, I can't leave the child alone. I'll just examine the rings on that porcelain hand and see if I can find out their properties.
You can try to, well, technically, because you don't need to attune to them.
I do not.
You attuned to the hand already?
Yeah, I tuned to the hand on the
Okay.
walk back to the town.
There are 2 rings of protection.
Okay, hold on. Let me write this down. On the hand, there is.
And then there are 3 rings of energy resistance. So you gain resistance to a single point of energy. Well, a single type of energy. There is fire, cold, and then there is acid. 1 ring each.
Awesome. Okay.
Anyways, it seems like Bill's not going to join. So, what do you say to Bill?
We are in need of swift transport. My options are very limited, and I had hoped, in the time we shared together, I may have chance earned a favor.
You've got my back, B. Well, I got your back, B. You and me are best buds. Where you need to go?
Katala.
Katola? I haven't really been there. Isn't that Bemin's place? Mind you, this is all happening in like a split second as you're like being shocked by the lightning, like time is slowed around you.
That is correct.
Let me check my map really quick, and you hear like an actual map open. I mean, I've been to Dramosnin. I can get you pretty fucking close. It'd be like a week of boat travel, or if you could fly somehow, maybe like 2 days of travel. That's the Demon Lord's continent. I've been to the tower there.
That is more than close enough.
I can get you there. I got you, boo. Right now? Because you said we, but there's only one of you here.
There is a second, yes. I had been confirming that you'd be willing to do so to begin with.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to contact a god, so... You could try again, but we'll see. It might be a little bit more difficult next time. I'll let you go right now. Let me know when you try... let me try again and call me back. And the lightning just stops and dissipates as you come back to... You do take... Sorry. I'll say you do take here... I'll say he halves it because he's a nice guy. You take 11 reduced to 5 points of lightning damage.
Aw, thanks. All right, well, I'm gonna head back down, find Theolyn.
You eventually find Theolyn. He's having like breakfast with Nima, and Nima's like he's like trying to teach her words and whatnot. Like he goes table, and she goes, just tilts her head like, huh?
I have procured us swift transportation.
Awesome. I'll need to. Let's see about maybe finding a church for Nima to stay in, or an orphanage. Either one would work. Or perhaps your bag could be of use again.
Do you want to sit in a bag?
She tilts her head like she doesn't understand.
He's going to like open the mouth of the bag hanging on his hip.
She goes up to it to like peer into it and just falls in.
It appears she's made her choice.
I'll say Theolyn,
Okay.
It didn't look like that to you. Like she was peering in and she just fell in basically to you, but yeah.
Is it a? It's certainly might have been a choice, right?
It is regardless convenient, given present circumstance.
All right. Okay. So about this transport, where do we need to go?
We are going to be struck by lightning.
I'm sorry.
He's going to walk out of the tavern.
Well, it's not a tavern. It's an actual house that they lent you guys.
Apologies, yes, he will walk out of the lent home.
It's made of wood.
That's nice.
Yeah, you said lint. Nah, I'm fucking with you.
It's always depressed introspection or fucking lunacy with this guy, and I walk out.
You guys walk out and return to the area. Theolyn, it's a bitch of a climb. But it takes you guys 30 minutes to get up to the top. You're no longer exhausted, by the way, from the night before.
Yeah.
Might be a little tuckered now, but
Yeah.
There are no thunderclouds.
That can be amended.
You don't
he is
look like
going to cast fog cloud at the highest possible altitude.
Oh yeah, he's here.
It's not really a thundercloud below, though. It's funny.
Word.
He's here! Holy shit!
What's your major?
So, I assume you do the same thing, right, Domino?
Yep.
Alright, so Ryen Pharaoh raises his sword to the clouds. He stands upon this terrace of stone and commands the lightning to strike him. As it does, he once again hears the voice of his friend who offered him transportation to a continent of close to the place he wants to go to. Build a bolt. From the past, because this is before he got sealed away again.
Hello?
Hello, it's me. I'm sorry, I'm playing TF2 right now.
No, you're good.
Says Bill.
In character.
Oh my
I'm playing Team Fortress 2.
You're a fucking scout,
I
man, aren't you? I know what you are.
Incorrect. I'm a spy.
Oh, you're worse.
Anyways.
But what's even worse, I'm a big earner spy that uses the Dead Ringer
Anyways.
and the one that gives you a lot of crits.
Big shot. I'm kind of recording. Anyways.
Oh my.
Go ahead and roleplay this, you two.
Is there anything you want in return for this favor?
I just got here. I don't know what's happening.
Since you were so kind to provide instantaneous transportation to a location I'd like to go to.
Oh, you mean the instant transmission? I'll take like $2 for it. It's fine. You
And
don't need to pay me gas money or anything.
well, it is appreciated. Will I be able to call upon you for this in the future?
Probably. Depends on how drunk I get. You know, that dwarven fire wine really
I'm gonna roll a
Really
D100 to
kicked
see
it.
how drunk you are. Not very. You're good.
well, I mean right now I'm not drunk, but I am altered, I'll say.
I'll take unreliable. Now
Aw.
then,
Come on,
If- if you don't mind.
You just hear the sound of click clacks in the background like a computer.
Oh, am I supposed to say something to teleport you? Is that what you're waiting for?
I mean, you're the one doing it.
Fine, I got you. Shiyakazing.
God damn it.
And with that, a lightning bolt strikes you and Theolyn as suddenly you're both transported into this world of blue and hurt. Because it's a long fucking transport, you guys are going to take damage. Bill, do you want them to take half or full damage?
I'd prefer they didn't.
Well, they do take damage still because it's lightning.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll say half.
Okay.
I'll be nice. They're my friends and all.
You suffer
Thanks,
55 reduced to 20, I think that would be 27. 27 points of lightning damage, each of you.
I'll even cast absorb elements.
Alright, so you take 13.
I don't have that. I just take full 27.
You're fine. We'll get you figured out.
Theolyn watches you talking about something called Team Fortress 2, scout mains, and a bunch of other shit, and then is immediately struck by lightning.
Yeah,
Thank
that's about how it goes.
Thank you, Big Shot. If you need to go, you can go now. Unless you want to listen.
I'm
in,
here. I
your choice.
might as well stay.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm doing much. I'm just taking soldiers' heads off as a medic with the Eyelander.
Okay. Well, if you want to mute yourself for now, that's fine. Until like we need you or something, or you want to talk in.
Well,
that's
you
fine.
don't.
I just don't
You
like to
don't
hear
like
the
my
click. I
mechanical
just don't.
keyboard.
No, I don't. Anyways, so the rest of you, the two of you, find yourselves transported to a large hill at the edge of a continent of blackened ash and dust. You look and you see a single tower that is centered in the continent's center exactly. You see large skeletal figures, and you see large, broken, destroyed buildings and ballista in the distance. You see small fires that start and put themselves out. You see clouds of noxious fume. And you turn a bit eastwards, well, a bit south, but more eastwards. And you can see it in the distance. The rising mountains, the large deserts, the flowing plains of Kutola, the Isle of Monsters. Not but maybe a day or two at most travel away by flying. Depending on how well you make. And as you stand on this wind-swept precipice before you, that is where we're going to end the session, because I'm getting tired.